Chris Santiago of MMA. Today I'm here with the St. Louis sensation, where you have on the human highlight reel himself, UFC middleweight star Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin, how's it going today?
Man, it's going real good, bro. Just got done training at St. Louis Boxing Academy, man. So I got something special for Chris Curtis come December 10th, man. So y'all better get ready.
Awesome, man. And you've been calling for his name for a while now, but you've also been calling for fights of Dragos Duplessis, Khamzat Chimaev, Darren Till. How satisfied were you with getting Chris Curtis as your next matchup?
I really wasn't satisfied because when I won him, I didn't get him, you know. But the thing is, though, Chris Curtis is still a good matchup for me. And he's ranked number 15 in the world, so it's good. But at the end of the day, I wanted Khamzat in December, you know. And I felt like the Khamzat fight, he had a lot of, momentum on his side. And that's why I wanted to fight him, you know. But me coming off a loss and Chris Curtis coming off a loss, I guess it made more sense for the UFC to make, you know. But I wanted Chris Curtis before we had to fight Nassourdine and before he had to fight set up with Jack Hermanson. I feel like we should have made that fight happen way before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad I got it, though. At the end of the day, it's cool that I got it because I got a fight at the end of the year. So that's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. How impressed were you, if any, with Khamzat Chimaev against Kevin Holland at UFC 279? I believe that you were a cage side for that fight. How did you see that fight going?
I mean, be honest with you, I seen it going that way. If Kevin couldn't stop the shot, that's what's gonna happen. If Jingling, Jalen didn't stop the shot, that's what was gonna happen. You know. So a lot of these guys, if you don't stop that first initial shot, he's a dangerous fighter. You know what I mean? As you've seen with Gilbert Burns, he was able to fight off a couple takedowns, get back up to his feet. And Khamzat, he's not a good striker. I don't care what nobody say. He's a powerful dude, but he doesn't have any setups towards the striking, and he leaves a lot of openness for himself. But other than that, though, I seen that fight going exactly how it went. If Kevin Holland couldn't stop that first initial shot.
Mm-hmm. I saw that you guys, you kind of like campaigned for like you and Kevin Holland versus Darren Till versus Khamzat Chimaev in like a tag team match. Like, where did that idea come from, man?
I mean, shoot, bro, who wouldn't like that? You know what I mean? Who hasn't watched WWE all the time? You know what I mean? So just thinking about it, because they seem like they tried to jump Kevin Holland backstage. So I'm like, shoot, hey, bro. Cause my thing is, me and Kevin Holland, like, we got our own little dispute, because he beat me, whatever. And I'm always a competitor, so I always want to get whoever beat me. I always want to get that back. But regardless, though, I hate, and when I say I hate, I mean I despise Khamzat and Darren Till, because I feel like they the fake people in the industry. You know what I mean? And they get rewarded for what they do, and I just don't like that. Because if anybody else was trying to do what they was doing, we'd get in trouble, if not cut from the UFC. So I just really want to shut that down. So I was like, why not team up with Kevin Holland for the one time to shut them boys up?
Mm-hmm. And what's
this
fight?
With you, I would have this would have been a switch up though, right? I would have fought Khamzat, and I would have gave Darren Till to Kevin.
Nice, man.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a way better matchup for Kevin Holland is Darren Till, and way better matchup because I already fought Khamzat's cousin, Albert Durayev.
Gotcha. And then this next fight against Chris Curtis, do you feel like this is more personal than all of your other fights, or like is it just business like always?
This ain't personal. It's all about money. Ain't none of them personal. Ain't nothing personal. I'm just trying to get paid. Like the next man. And I feel like actually this is gonna be a good fight for me and Chris. To try to promote and get the fight to the co-main. Because I don't care who's on that fight card besides actually the main event. I feel like the co-main should be me and Chris Curtis because that's the fight that people want to see. So why not have that fight lead up into the main event?
Mm-hmm. And this is a clash of styles, man. How do you think you match up against him and his skills?
I mean, we virtually the same fight. I'm just better. I feel like my grappling is a little bit better. I feel like my striking is a little bit better. You know what I mean? And I feel like the only thing that's the difference is landing a power shot. So who's gonna land a power shot first, and who's gonna be able to get that damage off first? And I feel like I'm gonna be the one to get it off first before he does. But he's still a dangerous guy though. Don't get it twisted. Like that boy got what they call melatonin in his hands. You know what I'm saying? So he'll put your ass to sleep if you let him. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest thing is just keeping the footwork on him and keeping that jab on him and getting them power shots off. That's it. Real simple game plan. Curtis know the game plan. You know the game plan.
Got it. And going back to your last fight, it's one of the best fights of the year. I would say, what are some of the biggest takeaways from that fight? What are some of the biggest lessons that you could take away from that fight?
The biggest lesson that I took away from that fight, man, don't allow this shit to go to the judges. when I try to be strategic, when I try to, work a game plan, something, but I realize the judges don't know what they're watching. The judges don't know what fighting is. So they usually going to go with the name. They usually going to go with the person that looks larger or what they doing. Like, so Nassourdine will do a lot of slick shit, like touch his chin and try to act all like confident, but they don't realize that he playing possum. He's really hurt, but regardless of that though, just knock these dudes out, you know what I mean? And just make sure I put on dominant performances and I don't make it look close, because I can't afford to lose, at all, because I didn't get paid good money in my last fight, unfortunately, because I lost, So I'm just saying, like, we got to win every single time, point blank period.
Gotcha. Then I saw that you met the legend Georges St. Pierre in Paris. What was that experience like being a legend?
I mean, I already met him before, you know what I mean? But to actually have a conversation with him and talk to him, and for him to say, I'm one of his favorite fighters to watch, it's an honor, because he's the reason why I fight today, and he's the one that I looked up to. He's the reason why, my style is the way it is, and I'm a complete fighter on the striking and with the grappling, so, because he was, in my opinion, Georges St. Pierre was the first complete fighter in mixed martial arts, and he really kind of transitioned the game a little bit when it comes to that. But yeah, it was an honor to meet that man. Of course, I would love to train with him one day.
And talking about a legend outside of the fight game, CT Fletcher, you said that you wanted to walk out with him to your next fight in the last interview that we did. And then he actually responded saying, "I'd be honored to walk out with you. I'm a huge Joaquin Buckley fan." What did it mean for him to say that, like, to you? Like, what did it mean for you?
Man, it was surreal, because you got to realize, like, those guys motivated me when, like, I didn't have nobody else around, and when I don't have, like, the mentor or the coach or anything, because back here in St. Louis, like I told you a lot of times, like, I was training myself. So he gave a lot of motivation to me, like, to keep going and keep working hard and instill your motherfucking set. Like, CT Fletcher was everything to me, bro. Listen to his videos like every day. So for him to give me that shout out and then be like, "Hey, I'm honored just to be in your corner," man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, this is what life is all about, man. You know what I'm saying? Making these connections, bro. Hell yeah.
Awesome, man. Like, do you think you're gonna get him a ticket to the fight at UFC 282 in Las Vegas, man?
If I can, bro, I can hardly get myself a ticket with the UFC, bro. It'd be hard out here, but I'm sure if I can, I would. You know what I mean? And if his schedule is open up, I'm definitely gonna try to line him up and get him to Vegas with us and T-Mobile. Yeah.
I saw that Johnny Walker, he was like kicked out of his last, like right after his last fight out of the T-Mobile Arena. As a fighter, have you ever experienced that with the UFC where like they can't get you tickets, so they kick you out?
No, well, I think he gave his tickets up, so he's supposed to keep them. He gave them to somebody else. That's what I'm assuming, But yeah, so usually if you don't have any tickets, they will take you out of the venue. Yeah. So, but no, I have not experienced, because I kept my tickets. Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, hopefully CT Fletcher could be there, man. I mean, maybe in the celebrity section. I
It'd be
mean, he's a
massive.
legend, right?
It'd be massive, bro. You know what I mean? But, not just CT Fletcher, but a couple guys I got on my mind, you know what I mean, to actually get out there and be in my corner. I think it'd be a real big deal for not just me, but the UFC, to put these people out there.
And last question for you. I didn't want to take much of your time, man. You teased that you were going to make an OnlyFans soon. What makes you want to go to that platform?
Shit, man, get this money, boy. What you mean, bro? People out here making $1 million a month, nigga, with OnlyFans. So hey, man, I gotta do something, man. You gotta be creative in this field that we live in, because unfortunately, like I said, bro, we don't get paid like the other athletes on the planet, and the only way you can get that money is getting that gold, and that's a hard trip in itself. So I'm trying to get this money. So whatever I gotta do in order to get it, I'm a hustler. I come from the STL, and you can't spell hustle without STL. So that's all I know. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So not to get too weird, but what's going to be your exclusive content? Are you going to be dropping fight news, training videos? Like, what's the content going to be like on your OnlyFans?
I don't think you want to be on it, bro. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now. There's gonna be a lot of swinging. Nah, I'm playing with you, man. Nah, like if I do make an OnlyFans or a Patreon or anything of that feature, like I probably just do like fight tips and like technique breakdowns and stuff. If I was to do it, to be serious, and just have people, just pay for the content, you know what I mean, and any source of income that we can get from outside the UFC is good. Like I said before, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that Charles Johnson shirt that you're wearing?
Yeah, that's my boy. You know, I gotta, support my man. Energy. That's the guy. Yes, sir. And this shirt is so dope, man. You know, it got the arch in the back, you know. He got his emblem, and of course, he got the anime version of him. I need one of these myself, so I got to reach out to the dude that made his shirt. Yep.
Nice, man. Can't wait to see it. Is there anything that you want to say to the fans out there watching before we close this one out?
Yeah, man. Just saying, I love everybody that supports me, man. And make sure that y'all go check me out on New Master 94. Also, go check out my Fight Week video on YouTube on Joaquin Buckley Official. You know. But make sure that y'all go check out me and Chris Curtis go to war December 10th. And if you guys want to see some real bangers at the end of the fight, you know, make sure y'all get us on the co-main. Tag me, Chris Curtis, and tag co-main. Yep.